December the 31st, 2025. As you can see, the whole world is going to hell. Uh, there's only one thing that I can offer from the World's Web Project, and it's for the people, for us, the country, and the world, wherever you come from the Western tradition, to react today and make things happen. What I mean to that is that the wars for independence are back. Um, yeah, we don't have the power, but the First Amendment of the Constitution in America. In Canada, they have taken off from us the capability to defend ourselves from political menaces, which are included in the American menace, which is you can and you have the obligation to protect yourself from foreign as well as within your country menaces. And to not understand that the menaces of the United States of America as well as the European is the oligarchies and the elites, the Halliburtons, all the people that have taken us to wars over and over again. You have to be very stupid in Europe, in the Commonwealth countries, if you want to talk it that way. But I will say that it is impossible for us to continue the world in the European tradition, and I'm talking about the 27 countries in the European Union. If there is a union, I'm talking about the Netherlands, I'm talking about Finland, I'm talking about all the countries in the Western world that have been described themselves as leaders of education and understanding between nations, and not only that, but for themselves be self-sufficient because of social democratic understanding of politics. Now it seems to be a problem for the European nations and also NATO and also, of course, the Americans. And not only that, for the United Nations, which was created in order to avoid these things from happening. So when we see that presidents like in Germany, Friedrich Merz, Keir Starmer in England, all these people are just working against the European principles which are to survive themselves. You can keep yourself white if you want to believe that, but the fact is that you white people, whether in every country or any country in European countries, whether it's the 27 states of the European Union, you're getting old. You're getting very old. You need immigrants in order for your countries to work. That's why you got immigrants. Yeah, you got immigrants with low education and shit. And why would that be? Because you abused their countries, you took their oil, you took their resources, and now they come angry to your countries, which you took their resources from, and you're mad about it. Listen, idiots, in the 21st century, if there's something that we have learned, is nothing but the fact from 2001 to 7 October 2023, is that you are nothing but ignorant fools that took us for assholes that you can control and destroy and do whatever you want. What I'm trying to say is that in my last 10 years, I have been proving to you, us, the country and the world, that we are under a colonization program, which is the State of Israel, which of course has the help of some people above that don't want us to evolve. We have had energy sources for more than 100 years that could have had replaced um, the oil and gas industry, which I like, and I'm a welder myself. I'm qualified. Yeah, sure, just test me over. I will pass the tests. But the point is that when you don't want to accept that we already surpassed oil and gas industry more than 100 years ago, and you still want to keep it, that's switching to your own country, and that is to sell yourself out in order for the Jewish state to take over the world and export this same opinion to other civilizations. That is a problem that Federico Molano, only I, Federico Molano, has exposed for the last 35 years. and I still insist on that. We have to stop this invasive species, which is the state of Israel, and which has existed since the days of Moses, in order for them, for us to call their God out and say, hey, pick them up or we will destroy them. I'm not saying that Hitler was right. Am I? I'm not saying that Cicero was right. Am I? I'm not saying that the Battle of the Trenches were right. Am I? Am I saying that history is supporting me instead of contradicting me? I think I'm totally right about all those guys. And we can still go on. And we can also make sure that the citizens of the world don't take your shit any longer. And I'm talking about the elites in the United States, which are totally put off the political ambient in the United States, the same as Europe and the Western tradition as we understood it, if there was any way of the Western tradition, and capitalism. Oh, you cannot talk against capitalism. Oh, yeah, sure. Why wouldn't I talk about against capitalism? Look what is happening in England. Look what is happening in the United States. Look what is happening when it comes to healthcare. Oh no, it has to be privatized. And who are they going to be the owners? Yeah, well, little enterprises. And why not the public? Why not what we vote for, which is for us, for the country, and for the world? Let me put it this way. In the Constitution, in the Bill of Rights and Freedoms, that we pay taxes enough for you motherfuckers to give us the healthcare we need, whether in Europe, whether in Canada, and anywhere else. And now they're trying to convince us that we have to go private. All these issues have taken us, the country and the world, to the point that we have to say who is behind it, and we always find the state of Israel, the state of Israel behind anything and everything that has to do with privatization and with the destitution of the institutions that are supposed to support any sovereignty or country sovereignty, just to make it private. That's good for you there in Israel because you live with our money, but not for us. So it is time to understand these two things. Israel is supported by the world, and the world is not supported by Israel. Secondly, the myth that Israel is the people of God is not true. They're the people of the devil, and they have demonstrated in the last 2 years, and that's it. You can discuss that with me. Sure, I will give you the time to do so. Thirdly, the United States of Israel and the Europe of Israel, the Western tradition of Israel, has betrayed the people and the Western tradition itself, which was characterized for being independent and for finding solutions, whether scientific or religious, civilians, into the understanding to create what we call a better democracy. Now, in the 21st century, to say that Israel is not guilty of not one but thousands of crimes, it will be a denial of what we as humans live for. I understand that you can say anything for Israel in the self-defense, but there is no law in any constitution, whether it's from the Geneva Convention and after the First and the Second World War, whose horrors brought us to the United Nations, to say that Israel has the right to kill and destroy anybody else that they feel like, even if it's supported by the United States and the European Union, which suffered in the First and the Second World War amazing destruction in order for them to say now in the 21st century that they support Holocaust, destruction, genocide, like they never learned anything about it. And that's it. I think I proved my case in court, in the international court, whether in this world, in any nation, and any other civilization. So that's it. That's all I have to say. I want you to have, hopefully, a happy new year. But according to me, Israel and their government and Trump's, you can go and live in Mars, like Elon Musk with the Hitler salute says. No matter what you want, we're going to take over. Well, you can go and fuck off and live in Mars, because we don't want to look like Mars whatsoever here on Earth. So you can go and fuck yourself out. And we, the people, are going to fight you from the grassroots to, and I'm asking you, generals, I'm asking you, admirals, I'm asking you, captains, colonels, soldiers, who are you working for? Oh, is it the president or is it the Constitution, the Bill of Rights and Freedoms in the case of Canada, and every constitution around the world? Or are you working for the Jewish state, which is saying, fuck you, only us control you and the world? If you're for that colonization plan, I'm not. For us, for the country, for the world, hope to see you next time. The next edition of the Act today. Au revoir. Bye bye. Hasta pronto. And I hope you think about this because we have no time. Today being the 31st of December 2025, we have only 1 hour to make that decision. Au revoir. Bye bye. Hasta pronto. Reacciona hoy. React today as part of the world's